Hello everyone, it's Allrider here and welcome to another week in toys. Today's Thursday the 5th of May. A couple of days away from the NEC Toy Fair now. Really excited about going there and seeing what wonderful old and new toys will be landing there. We might even get some cheeky legacy there, maybe. I know it's a bit touch and go, but if retailers like Geeky Nerd Toys are there and maybe even Collector's Den, then fingers crossed there might be some newer stuff there as well as a vintage. But speaking of newer stuff, I have received a parcel today from Start Action Figures, and it's a big one, and it's got a couple of items in, and I'm excited about it. Legacy is coming in full force now, and this is now my fourth Legacy figure behind Iguanus, Skids and Bulkhead. And now let's add a leader into the mix, shall we? Leader class, Laser Optimus Prime. These boxes are a funny shape, aren't they? Yeah, so this is the Generation 2 version of Optimus Prime. And for those of you who watched last week's Week in Toys, you will know that I found the original car boot the other week, so that was pretty poignant, wasn't it? That I find this on the Sunday and this arrives on the following Thursday. But yeah, I've been looking forward to this one. Massive G2 fan. I'm more into G2 than G1 toys, if I'm honest. I love G2. I remember when it hit. I remember still being into Transformers and having a second chance to get characters in slightly different colours. I still remember buying Grimlock when I was out one Saturday. Awesome. But yeah, we have got Laser Optimus Prime. And shall we have a look at what... Well, I think it's called Laser Optimus Prime. Yeah, Laser Optimus Prime. Let's have a look at what his barcode says, or his tech specs. Optimus Prime is a leader, he's a semi-truck, he's from the G2 universe. And you can see all of his stats there. That's pretty cool. As his signature weapon is an Energon sword, combines with Energon axe to form an indestructible weapon that can slice through any material. And the bio is Optimus Prime fights bravely and selflessly for the freedom of all life forms. His strength is a 9, his intelligence is a 9.8, his speed is an 8, and his firepower is a 7. So there you go. Quite cool to see that. I do like that little gimmick. I wish there was like the collector's cards in there with that tech spec on or something like that, because I do like collecting them. But yeah, this looks alright. It looks like a cool figure, transforms in 30 steps. Yeah, I probably will get the version of Scourge when that comes out as well. So yeah, that was the first thing in here, and we do have another item, and it's another Marvel Legends figure from the Thor Korg Builder figure wave. It is Ravager. Oh. So yeah, unfortunately, Hasbro QC has hit me. You can see that this height here is correct, and this one is printed over the other side of its bloody face. So that's no good. I will email Star Action Figures and get this figure sent back and hopefully get a replacement. That's a shame, isn't it? On a glance, it looks okay, but you can definitely tell that this eye here is in the wrong place. And I have looked at other figures online, and it's not like that. So there we go. I probably need to get him sent back to Star Action Figures. That's a bit of a shame, isn't it? So today is Saturday the 7th of May, and it's been a busy day today. And I have got a load of stuff from the sale that's going on in game in the UK. So I'll go through that in a moment. So now on to this Thor situation, another nightmare with Hasbro QC I've been having. So this is the picture of Thor next to how he should look like for a start. And let me know in the comments below if you think that I'm being a little bit picky here or not. If you think I've gone a little bit too far asking to send this back because of the eye placement. I personally think the face looks a little bit warped, but let me know what you think anyway. Remember, this is like over £20, this figure. So I contacted Star Action Figures. They said I could return it, but it would have to be at my own cost, which isn't great customer service, is it? Let's face it. I'll read out the email to you. Unfortunately, I am unable to cover the cost of returns for small paint issues. It's a mass production toy, and issues like this are quite common, and is not viable for us to cover return costs for each small issue with the figures. Now, I get it. If there's paint chips and those kind of things. In fact, like the Thor figure that I've actually got now, which doesn't have bad eyes, I'll explain where I got him from in a moment, has all paint chip in here. which is annoying, but I'm not bothered about. And let's talk about this fella with issues. The head didn't turn and pops off constantly. The arms pop off constantly. The chest piece pops up constantly as well. So, like, this is something that come in the same order as that Thor, and this is riddled with QC issues, and I didn't bother to return this because, to be honest with you, we've become accustomed to these type of things. Just it's part of the course with Transformers. I wasn't too happy with Star Action figures, to be honest. I actually went back to him and said I'd ordered Thor, not Sloth. I spent a lot of money over the years on Star Action figures. In fact, like in the last month, I probably spent £100 on them. I've got another item actually on the way that I ordered before this one arrived. They've been my go-to this year for the legacy stuff because I've been getting stuff in earlier. And to me, it just leaves a poor taste in the mouth. I've had a lot of good experiences with them, but like with a majority of retailers, and I've said this before when I had issues with in-demand toys last year, it's not. You only find out how good a retailer is when you have a problem. Now, with Comics and Cocktails and Kapow, I have had similar issues with that, and they have offered better resolutions that didn't involve me being out of pocket. Now, I do sympathise with Star Action figures. They're saying it's not viable. If it was a small paint issue, that's fine. His eye was in the wrong place, right? To me, that's not a small paint issue. That's something that's faulty. And the annoying thing is, for me to return that for the cost of the item would have cost me £4.45. It's over £20, so to insure it for the full amount would have cost me £4.45 to return an item to them to get a refund for £21. So essentially, I would have lost that £4.45 completely, which to me is unacceptable. Right? Things are expensive enough, but Star Action figures know the game, right? Every retailer knows the game. Collectors want things that look good and hold together well and look what they should do. And we accept small things. I say small things, £47 this thing cost. Both, and it's got 4 QC issues just on the robot mode. But you know what? You're in the game. And I don't know if it's just because they're small retailers and they don't have the clout to go back to Hasbro. Because what I did, I wasn't going to send it back to Star Action figures and be that much out of pocket. I went and bought another one from Smith's. So this is the one I got from Smith's, and I'll return the bug eye one, right? Which is a bit naughty of me, but Smith's will probably claim that back. Now, one thing I will say from Smith's is this is where I do sympathise with Star Action figures, and I think the problem goes more to Hasbro. They had about 9 of these in stock, and 7 of them had issues with the eyes. Not as bad as the one I took back, which I think the face was a bit warped. It wasn't just the paint tissue, the face looked a bit warped to me. But Hasbro really need to step up their game. They're upping the prices of these things. And to have that many QC issues that I saw on the shelf of Smith's is appalling, and I do feel for the smaller retailers. But there's an even bigger issue now. There's an even bigger issue with these going into sealed boxes. I will not be purchasing action figures from online smaller retailers unless they have dealt with problems like this before. And I think if other retailers are not offering those things for small paint issues and those type of things, what they deem small issues, that it should be clear on their website that they don't offer refunds. And don't offer, well, not that they don't offer refunds, they don't offer free returns. Very poor game, Star Action figures. You've lost a customer now. I think I've actually got Motormaster pre-ordered through there, so I need to look at switching that, and I'll probably go with Comics and Cocktails. Another one off the list, I don't buy from in-demand toys anymore because of their service. I won't be buying from Star Action figures again because of, I think, the unfair treatment. No wonder small businesses go under, because bigger retailers know how to treat their customers. Not all small retailers. Robot Recruits are great, Comics and Cocktails are great. Kapow Toys, even though I've had some issues with them in the past, it was never that they were trying to keep me out of pocket. Whereas, unfortunately, in-demand toys and Star Action figures now have tried to impact me by me losing out on money for a faulty product that they sent me. So that was disappointing, but I'm going to shut up about it now because I've got Thor. I'm a happy man, so there you go. So now on to the game stuff. Now, I mentioned last week's Week in Toys that I found this wonderful Optimus Prime, and it's going to Junk Heap Dave, and also a wrestling belt weeks ago. Many episodes back I found for Dave that he wanted as well. And he sent me something through the post that should have arrived today, but I got the dreaded red label of doom, so I think it's being redelivered on Tuesday. So I'll show you that in next week's Week in Toys. But he sent it me, and we hadn't even agreed what the full trade was. And this is what I'm going to trade with Dave. It is Skylinks, Earthrise, War for Cybertron, Skylinks. It wasn't $39.99, it was £12.98. Yes, I managed to get one of the cheaper ones, and it's sickening that it's this price. It really is. It really is so sickening. I paid £80 for this thing, but in a way I'm really happy because this is going to go to Dave, and even though Dave's not a massive Skylinks fan, I think this is a really cool figure. And let's not forget, he might work on his Rodimus shelf because Rodimus infected Skylinks in the Hate Plays episode, if you remember that. So that was cool. And that was actually the second game I went to in Warsaw. From that shop, I also got this, which is a Marvel Legends Ultron figure. No idea why, don't collect the comics, have no interest in the comics really, but I bought it anyway. It might be one of those things that I'll flip later on down the line. I'm not going to open it just yet, but it does look cool. I might keep it, I might not, I haven't quite decided. So that's what I got from Gaming Warsaw. What also I got from Warsaw, actually, I went into Smith's because my little one was with me, and this was £3 in there. It's Masters of the He-Man and Masters of the Universe Orko. This is from the Netflix kids show, which actually is quite good. And the twist on this one is that Orko is a droid with the memories of a wizard, which is pretty cool. But yeah, for £3, I couldn't turn that down. If these get cheaper, I'll probably pick up a few more of them. Yes, they're kiddies' toys, but £3, pretty awesome little thing. Now, I'm on to the first game I went to, and the reason why I was jotting around games wasn't just to get Skylinks for Dave. There was a Marvel Legend 2-pack. Again, something that I don't really collect because it's more comic based, but I saw it and it was $10.99. I've seen it like all over the social media platforms, and I didn't think I was going to get one because there was only one per store apparently, and in Sutton I had one today. It is the Logan and Hawkeye 2-pack, and I just think these look absolutely awesome. I'm probably going to stick with this hatted head. There's a little baby Hawk there as well, isn't there? I never noticed that. Hawkeye looks absolutely stunning. I just think it looks great. I just think it looks really, really good. I've got no affiliation to that comic or these versions of the characters. I just think they look cool toys, and for £11 I could not grumble, so I got that. I also rebought a Transformer that I previously sold. Sold this for, I think it was £15 late last year, and I kind of regretted it because I got one of the other fossilisers, and then there's that combined mode. So I'm now on a quest. The previous fossiliser, the pterodactyl one, I forget what it's called anyway, the really thin one. I picked up that one for £5. I've got this one now for £5. I've got Ractonite. So this is my second Ractonite figure. Box is a bit beaten up. I need to get a Paleotrex now just so I can do the combined mode, but I'm not going to pay more than £5 for a Paleotrex. I have got the Transmutate figure, so I could always use that to combine up, but I'll have a look for a Paleotrex. So I got that. And the final thing I picked up, I said Black Series wise I would only collect now the Mandalorian stuff or the Book of Boba Fett stuff, but just for novelty purposes I got this. I did see this a while ago where it was $12.99 or $14.99 plus postage. This was there sitting on the shelf, and I thought I can't leave it for a tenner. Jar Jar Binks is such a novelty character, and like for maybe doing some photos or doing some stupid poses or whatever, I could not say no to Jar Jar Binks for a tenner. I really, really couldn't. And it's absolutely amazing that, how much did I spend? Less than £50 all that cost. Less than £50. Mental. And like, if you think about it, that's £80 worth of stuff. There's 34, so there's 115. There's another £55 for these, I think they are. So there's another 170 plus a 20, 190, another 20, 210. And I think these were about £15, so about £225 worth of stuff for less than £50. Well, around £50. That's pretty awesome, isn't it? And tomorrow, if that wasn't exciting enough and I hadn't spent enough, it's the LAC Toy Fair. So it's going to be a mental day. Going early bird. So what I've decided to do is this video is already, nearly 14 minutes long. Let's leave it there now. I will do a special video for a week in toys at the NEC Toy Fair, which I'll edit and get up, say, Sunday night or Monday. So I'll leave it there. If you are going to the NEC Toy Fair, have a wicked time. And until next time, I've been Zort Rod. I'll catch you again really soon.